Well, just when I thought the door was completely shut on the idea of Ben Affleck coming back as Batman, there's a little article here in Cosmic Book News. And I'm actually bouncing back between two articles, maybe even three. There's been quite a few little tidbits here and there. The complaints from Ray Fisher against Warner Brothers Pictures continues. And Jason Momoa joined him in this, initially backed him up, but he also complained himself about, apparently, I hadn't heard this, but I guess I've been busy with the hurricane and everything, that they had announced that there was a Frosty the Snowman movie in the works starring Jason Momoa as Frosty the Snowman. I don't know. And he responded to this, I guess on Instagram, saying that's BS, and he wants this kind of nonsense to stop, and that he was saying this is a distraction. Ray Fisher chimed in and said, yeah, that's what that is. And then he also chimed in at the announcement that Ben Affleck would reprise his Batman role in the Flash film, was also a distraction from his or from the investigation into the behavior on the Justice League set that he wanted. They initiated it, but now he's upset with the investigation, says it's not on the up and up, what have you, and witnesses don't want to talk to him, they're in fear of their jobs, all that type of stuff. That whole soap opera continues on. But it does posit this interesting thing. But the difference here is the Frosty the Snowman movie is not happening, but the Flash movie is. And I don't know that you can actually make the accusation that that was a distraction from this, in the point that, first of all, it's real, it's going to happen. And this is part of the people that are looking to promote interest in the film and giving more excitement about what it's going to be and all that. I mean, a while back they announced that Michael Keaton would be in it and all this type of stuff. And now we get more details that pretty much there'll be a Justice League reunion in it of sorts. And then it's going to reboot everything, all that kind of stuff. There's always an interest in keeping interest in your product, your franchises and whatnot. And so that plays more into that. As far as I'm not clear as to who announced a Frosty the Snowman movie, but anyway, one of the points I made about Ray Fisher is that he doesn't really have the power and muscle to be doing this sort of thing. I didn't think that was wise of him to be burning these many bridges, because he's mad at Jeff Johns. And what does he want? Does Jeff Johns have to be fired completely and not have anything to do with Warner ever again? I don't even know if that's legally possible, considering the amount of intellectual properties and royalty payment. I mean, yes, they could cut him a check for what they use, and any of that we're going to work out. But he's been signed up for deals. He's produced TV shows for them, and Stargirl and the DC Universe shows and all that stuff. They're a little too involved with him on that. As far as the Justice League, he lost that battle. It bombed. He had to move on. And Snyder Cut is the big winner, which is a big win for Ray Fisher. So anyway, that drama continues. I don't know what exactly he wants, or he just wants them to acknowledge it was bad. Or if there's other people that he doesn't want to work with, then he probably should bring that up. But he's not going to be working with Jeff Johns that I can see. But a lot of his ideas and stories that he wrote in the comic books are some of the sources of their ideas for the films. So one way or another, he's going to be around. If not in person, certainly in his effect and influence over the stories going forward. So that's the way it is. Meanwhile, keep getting rumors that the only holdup with Ben Affleck returning as Batman is Ben Affleck himself, which I kind of suspected that he might not be all that intrigued to jump back into it. But AT&T really is intrigued by the idea, but it also depends on Zack Snyder's Justice League, which could change everything in that as well. It's already changed a lot. And so when it comes out of it, it does so well, and that they want more of it. One way or another, you have to have either Ben Affleck come back as Batman for those stories to work, and this could really kind of mess up the storyline if you do the Flash movie and they replace him with Pattinson or what have you. Then that new Batman comes in and plays out that part. It's the consistency is just not there. So the idea that what it appeared to be they were acknowledging their multiverse and that sort of thing so that you could have two Batman. There is some amount of concern that you're taking up too much oxygen out of the room for the new Batman to even get started and get out there when everybody's watching this other one and all that. And then all the separation would be, well, Pattinson will be in the theaters and Ben Affleck will be on HBO Max, all that sort of thing. I can understand it to a certain point, but I imagine the paycheck will be rather lucrative for him should they don't want to do that. So look, it bounces around, and it's incumbent and important to acknowledge that yes, some of that Frosty the Snowman stuff like that might have been a deal to steer people away from that story, I guess, but it's also important to remember that things get floated around as a potential to look for interest in it. And I don't know that they need to do anymore. I think there is. I think that the tide quickly turned. I mean, I remember there was a lot of people upset, didn't really want Ben Affleck as Batman and all that. I think he proved all them people wrong, even though I enjoyed Batman versus Superman. I do see it as a flawed film, but his performance as Batman and Bruce Wayne was excellent. So I wanted to see more of it, hopefully in something that's even better and all that sort of stuff. So the interest is there. If he wants it, I think he can make it happen. But there again, he may not. That would be the biggest stumbling block to it. Maybe perhaps money could convince him. I don't know. But then there's also this clear appreciation in the relationship he had with Zack Snyder. That looks genuine, that he really enjoyed working with the man. And this idea of completing that, would be of some interest. And I think he could do that and still maintain the movie trilogy for the Batman with Pattinson and Matt Reeves. Seeing Matt Reeves Batman becoming the DCEU Batman just seems really at odds with what they've established there with that movie, and the idea of him being the Batman and teaming up with Henry Cavill's Superman for a world's finest film and that sort of thing. I really don't see that happening. But I suppose they could overrule it. But boy, that kind of interference is where is what stumbled and crumbled everything. So, best bet would be Affleck to reprise the role and complete the story. It's important to note that it's already been leaked about the plot of that, unless they want to change it or what have you, that his Batman dies at the end of the Justice League trilogy. So it would definitely end. But if he's just going to be sent off to his own pocket universe away from the main DCU universe at the end of Flashpoint, well, yeah, they could do that, but it wouldn't be all that satisfying. So there it is. But it is interesting that you do get jerked around quite a bit with these leaks, and bear in mind how many of them are just not true at all. But it certainly stands to reason that these types of talks and negotiations would be going on, because it could be quite valuable. And again, AT&T is in the position they're in. They need cash to roll in, and fans want Ben Affleck as Batman. I'm sure they're looking for how can we make this happen, and that could quite possibly be. So distractions from the soap opera drama with Ray Fisher, and Jason Momoa is upset about the Justice League set after Snyder left. I suppose it's certainly the Frosty the Snowman. Maybe they got something there. I don't know, because I never heard about it, so I don't know how effective that was. But getting back to Ray Fisher burning bridges and stuff, well, he was in the Snyder Cut, so that's very safe for him. You got Ezra Miller and Amber Heard, who have had a lot of bad press lately, especially Amber Heard. And they're safe because they were in that Snyder Cut, and they're banking everything on the Snyder Cut. So Ray Fisher's in Snyder Cut, and so also Aquaman, but also Momoa has his own movie. It's $1 billion movie, so he's got some muscle and pull there. and he's flexing it. So if he's going to back up Ray Fisher, then Ray Fisher is not going to back down. So it's just a matter of what exactly does he want. I don't know. I don't even know what exactly happened. He says there were veiled threats. Well, is that open to interpretation? That could be a problem too. So, and if then what investigator? It has to be your investigator. They put their investigators, and a lot of this is move on, because in a big way, you've already won. So, but that's the way it is. But anyway, yes, hopefully there's still some hope that there could be Ben Affleck's Batman, and not just directed by him with a new guy playing the role, but him as Batman, and get his Deathstroke story out there. That would be really cool. All right, one can hope.
All right. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my mini stores and have plenty of goodies for you. Hats, mugs, stickers, posters, all that goody stuff. Plus, you can head over to IndiePlanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book Night Night. Oh, yeah. Plus, you can also catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, over at RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on my channel at BitChute. That's the Mr Nailsin channel on BitChute.com.